Welcome everyone to a special edition. This is a special edition. This is
A very special edition.
what makes Premier League what it is today. I mean, the rivalry, the Arsenal Manchester United rivalry from the early 2000s to the late 90s.
That I haven't forgiven, that I have not forgiven, and by the way, those rivalries.
So this is an opportunity for a payback to you guys, rather. I'm joined
Of
by
course.
my very good friend Ike to discuss Arsenal hosting Manchester United at the Emirates on Sunday. Ike, I'll let you have the floor.
I think there's really not really much to say. I mean, you are facing the leaders of the current leaders.
Yes,
I don't know what you want to expect.
Group.
You're facing the best team in the world. Current best team in the world. Arguably, but yes,
Yeah,
when you
arguably
receive
the best
such
team in
high
Europe
praise from
currently.
someone like Pep Guardiola, you know that you're doing things right. Even though I wasn't really falling for all that praise. He does that every season when he's about to. But yes, honestly, you're facing Arsenal, then you're coming to the Emirates Stadium. It's not going to be easy, my friend. It's not going to be easy. You should expect a tough game. Now, here's the thing, and I always say this, whenever two big teams are playing, the context, whatever it is, the context is before that game gets thrown out of the window.
Yes.
It gets thrown out of the window. These are two
Yes.
big teams that would like to prove a point to themselves. It's going to be tightly contested. If anyone is going to win, it's not going to be by a huge margin, even though I'm expecting that, we have the... I said, no,
prediction at the end.
we have the minerals, we have the guns to be able to inflict maximum damage. I'm not saying that is going to happen, There's respect between both opponents. So I'm expecting an interesting game, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm also expecting an interesting game because it's a game that can go either way, depending on who slips up or who decides to show up. Like you said, Arsenal undoubtedly are arguably the best team in Europe. Forget whether Pep Guardiola, you feel like Pep Guardiola, Arsenal, I mean, you guys are doing 7 out of 7 in Champions League currently. You're topping the Premier League table, you're in the Carabao Cup semi-final, you're in the 4th round of the FA Cup. So you are on course for a quadruple. So you can't take it away from Arsenal.
Everybody's putting the pressure on us. Quadruple.
When it comes to Manchester United and Arsenal, and just like the first game of the season, Arsenal won that game 1-0, but it wasn't the kind of game they were expecting.
Yeah.
It wasn't the kind of game anybody was expecting, but it was the first game of the season, and Arsenal did what they had to do, take the 3 points and run. But this is a completely different game. And not even because of Manchester United's tiny form coming into the game, but just because there's pride at stake, there's history in this game. It means something for both teams. Liverpool has dropped points today now. It's an opportunity for Man U to continue their career progress. This is also an opportunity for Arsenal to... City won today is also an opportunity for Arsenal to increase their lead back to 7 points. So there's a lot at stake in this game. And I'm not expecting it to... If it's going to be a high-scoring game, it's going to be maybe one team did not turn up or mistakes here and there. But I'm not expecting mistakes from Arsenal because Arsenal has a solid team defensive-wise. Not even defensive-wise. They have a very good balanced team all around. But anything can happen is football, if that makes sense. So it is football. Are you expecting anything? I mean, Arsenal, I know you were disappointed with your last Premier League results with the 0-0 draw.
Oh, yes, I was.
Are you expecting to see anything different from your guys this time around? Or are you hoping for Odegaard to be dropped, or what are you hoping for something different in this game?
Actually, and it's actually interesting that I mentioned Odegaard, because if you had not mentioned Odegaard, I was going to mention him anyways. A lot of people argue, especially my followers, will argue that, I'm picking Odegaard a lot. But here's the thing: if you're going to be the captain of Arsenal Football Club, right? If you're going to be that guy that people would look up to when the chips are down and when things aren't working out, I don't care if it's just one game. You have to, be able to take things on the chin. Right? People are going to criticize you a lot, and I wasn't happy with his performance against Nottingham Forest. I wasn't happy with his performance. I singled it out because Arteta always says something: you have to earn the right to win, right? Yes, in the course of a title race, you're not going to win every game. There'll be some games where you'll be expected to win and you drop points. But for me, the manner in which you drop points is extremely important, because that still gives you the confidence going forward that, you know what, we did well, but it was just one of those games, right? As a captain, the performance they drop from me, It was a no-no. So that being said, I'm going to put it. I want him in the starting lineup today, and that's because last week I compared him to Bruno Fernandes because I said the earlier game.
Don't you guys get tired of comparing
No,
Odegaard to Bruno?
not in this, not in the sense that
Okay.
I'm saying as captains,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Purely as captains, not output as captains. Bruno Fernandes against Manchester City stepped up as a captain in that game. That was the difference, right? So that's in Bruno Fernandes. You're facing him tomorrow at the Emirates. I want to see you step up as the leader. Show me, because guess what? Bruno Fernandes is going to give his best, as we all know him to do.
Right.
I want to see the same from Odegaard tomorrow. So I'm backing him, to be in the lineup. Right, I think the game is probably too big of a game for Eze. Odegaard is kind of used to playing United, especially with this Arsenal setup in the last couple of years. So I think it's better suited to him. Obviously, we have also other big players. Gabriel Magalhaes, Declan Rice, the Bukayo Sakas, the David Raya that I'm expecting to turn up no matter
Saka is
what.
someone that needs to turn up. He needs to turn up.
But yes, he needs to turn up. He needs to step up.
He
In my
needs
opinion,
to.
he needs to really step up. I saw
For quote unquote star boy, his
I saw
outfits, his numbers
yeah.
are not. His numbers are not. I'm not saying he's not who he is, but his
Yeah.
numbers are shocking.
And not to stir up, not to
His
stir
numbers are
up
shocking.
a discord within the fan base, but I did see a clip from an Arsenal. He's a content creator, football content creator. He's an Arsenal fan, and then he did this 7 minutes expose on how Bukayo Saka is actually having an impressive season. And I mean, you can imagine my shock because I'm also an Arsenal fan. I've been watching the game objectively, and here's the thing: is this guy that he likes to deal with stats and picking up stats and trying to go into the nitty gritty of things. And I watched the entire 7 minutes, and I saw that he was avoiding something because as he was presenting those stats, okay, Bukayo Saka is the highest in terms of chances created, is the highest in terms of expected assists, is the highest in terms of big chances created, and all of that. His numbers are astronomical compared to the rest of the team. However, in second place to each and every of those stats was Declan Rice. And this guy did not mention any single thing about Declan Rice in the entirety of that clip, making it seem like, oh, Bukayo Saka is having such a phenomenal season. If you have Bukayo Saka and Declan Rice 2-on-2 having the same numbers in those three categories, it really tells you that most of those chances are coming from corners, set piece. That's what it tells you. Big chances created are coming from set piece. His assists coming from, do you understand? Because the eye test tells us that his decision making this season has been poor relative to the other season. So,
and his output, to be honest,
his output, yes,
for a star boy,
yes, and it stems from his decision making, which I think has
his
toned down a
output
little bit.
is shocking. I mean, I think he has only maybe 1 or 2 goals in like 15 Premier League games now.
Yeah, it's quite below his standards. Yeah. It's quite below his standards. But then again, if there's anyone that can step up in a big game, it's Bukayo Saka. So it's just
he's your best attacking player.
He's a star boy.
Yeah, he's your. And that's why I feel like sometimes people cut him a lot of slack because everything attacking wise that comes from us now comes from him.
Comes from him, yes. Comes from the right hand side, yeah.
Well, I think I agree he's doing well, but he needs to. Those numbers
they need to improve. I think it is something that is being known so well for that I feel like has gone a step low this season, and which is his decision making. His decision making needs to improve, and it needs to improve significantly. It needs to improve to the levels. So, other than that, I don't think I'm worried. Lineup, I would expect. I mean, Nkapi and Calafiori are rumored to be back.
Yeah,
so,
I think you guys have a full fit squad now.
Yeah. So, but I would expect Ben White to start, and maybe at right back, Timber at left back. Saliba, Gabriel.
Sure, Timber at left back.
Yeah, Timber at left back. Yeah. Who is going to be up against him? Diallo? Okay. Do you think Diallo is too much for Timber?
Okay, wait and see now. Wait and see. You know what? Timber saw in your last match
from the left back that he played. And that's okay. I mean, you're not going to. You're not going to be 100% all the time. If he does have a difficult game, he can easily be substituted.
I think you're better off playing Timber as right back because he's more steady and stronger, and I feel like it helps your rest defense better that way from right back.
I agree.
I don't know who. Maybe Calafiori just came back from injury, so maybe that's the reason why they want to start Timber. But in a fully fit Arsenal team, I think Timber's position is that right back.
But I agree with you, but then also two things, right? First thing is, I think for Nkapia and for Calafiori, putting them straight into the lineup, judging especially by the kind of injuries that they had, they were muscle injuries, right? I think it would be
Risky.
too risky
Too
for
soon.
them,
Yeah,
too
fair
soon
enough.
because of the intensity of that game. But also, I honestly believe that Timber offers us a lot defensively, but Ben White offers us more, offensively
Yeah.
at the right back. So it depends on, the usage and what is happening at the top end area of the pitch. Ateta might decide, maybe Ben White, maybe Timber. I will not be surprised if both of them, at different times in the game, both play the right back, because, of the game states and
But Ben
things
White
like
cannot
that.
play from the left, though.
He
That
can't
one
play
is
from
not,
it.
it's
Definitely
not even
can't
an
play. He
option at
cannot play from
all.
there. Yeah. But talking about Manchester United, what are you expecting? I mean, me personally, I'm expecting your usual suspects, usual culprit, but I want to hear it from the horse's mouth. What should we expect?
In terms of lineup,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's nothing new. The only person the only player that will be trying to get into the team. I'm expecting the same team that played against Man City. The
Okay.
same lineup that played against Man City. The only person that will be maybe staking a claim to wanting to start this game will be Cunha, right? But because he's not an out and out left winger, he might not be able to push that claim. One, then two, Dogu offers more defensively. And he has the running power to run up that flank. And we know that right flank is Arsenal's main attacking strength. That's where Arsenal is right side heavy in the attack. So it would make sense to start the same team that started against Man City. I'm not expecting anything different. I'm not expecting anything fantastically tactical. Just go back to the basics. Obviously, I know that this is going to be a completely different game from the Man City game. Man City sort of made that last game easy for Manchester United because they had options. They had options to put crosses in. They had most of their players dropping deep to come and receive the ball, which I don't expect Arsenal to do a lot. And that's why I think if I were to be an Arsenal fan, I'll be asking for Eze to start this game over Odegaard, simply because Eze plays more in between the lines up. Odegaard likes to drop to the midfield and receive the ball. If Odegaard is going to stay up and play as an actual number 10 in between the lines up front, he has the qualities to cause Manchester United problem, right? But if he's doing all those drops to the midfield to come and receive ball, Manchester United, I'm just expecting us to sit in our 4-4-2 compact low block and play out the game. Yeah, so there's nothing fantastic that I'm expecting. It's just, let's take it back to the basics. Play with discipline, take our chances when we get it, play with the spaces that we get. Just, Arsenal is going to come and be physical. So I expect them to also be up for it and be physical too. Once we can match Arsenal physicality and we can avoid unnecessary mistakes, try and prevent those crosses into the box.
Might be able to nick one in.
Not nick one in, but it is a level playing ground that way. You get the moment if you can stop those crosses into the box, you have cut off 50% of the threats. It becomes a more balanced game. We can all fight for the second balls together. We can all fight for
my brother, you're neglecting one of Arsenal's potent weapons. Because by stopping a cross into the box, you run a risk of conceding a corner.
That's why I'm saying they're stopping the cross before it happens.
Oh, okay.
Not waiting, and that's why I also think Dogu playing as that left wing is very important. Yeah, because in terms of if Shaw is caught up with Saka, and we know that Saka and Odegaard has that intricate play where they can knock it off, bounce it off each other quickly. If there's a Dogu that can support Shaw there, obviously you're not going to cut everything off, but like limits the amount of crosses or cutbacks that happen from that right wing. Then you stand a chance to fight the remaining 50-50 battles in the game. So I'm not expecting any change in the lineup. I'm expecting the same 11 guys that started the game against Man City to go out and just play. There's no big
deal. No big deal. I mean,
no big deal.
So from what you said, I think you guys are coming to set up play the counter-attacking football, because that was what you played largely against.
Yeah,
against Manchester City.
Yes, there's nothing. It's just
going to be an interesting contest.
You're not criticizing Arsenal for playing long balls or playing with set pieces. No, it is football now. You have to play the way you can play at the moment to achieve your best results possible. That makes sense. One person that I don't want to see that I think would be a problem for mine, and I was going to ask you, who do you think you should start, Gyökeres or Gabriel?
Because we're going to be feeling a low block. I would like to see Gyökeres start, because I think that with Gyökeres starting, it would occupy or give players like Lisandro Martinez, Harry Maguire, you keep them busy. The reason why I see this is because Lisandro Martinez and Harry Maguire are very good on the ball. They are very good on the ball. So I want them to be so concerned or so occupied with defensive duties that they barely have any time on the ball. And I think playing with Gyökeres will afford them that. Because if you start with Jesus will drop deep, right? Now, if that ball, for example, is won, somewhere in the middle, half third, or the middle of the pitch because of Jesus dropping deep, it affords someone like Lisandro Martinez to be able to pick out the pass, right? But if Gyökeres is there, it gives us more pressing, high up the pitch, more intensity, more, what's the word now? It gives us more placements. We have players occupying those spaces, right? I don't think it would necessarily mean he will score, right? Because obviously as a team, we are still yet to, break that barrier of having to find him actively or having to find him perfectly. And I think that will still come with time. But I like what he does. I like what he's doing. Because guess what? It is working so far. He hasn't been scoring us goals as we would have liked, but the team is scoring and we're doing well. And that's one of the greatest strengths of this Arsenal team. The goals come from anywhere.
From everywhere.
Anywhere. Regardless of whatever anyone is doing. And I think it contributes to the collective, right? If Gabriel Jesus starts, well and good. I believe Arteta will have his reasons, a tactical master plan. Gyökeres coming in, just like in the Inter Milan game, to finish off the game, can also work, in our favor.
Finish off the game.
Yeah. If you think about it, when Gyökeres came in against Inter Milan, they were losing 2-1.
Arsenal was winning 2-1.
Arsenal was winning 2-1. Inter Milan were losing 2-1. So Inter Milan were on the front foot trying to get that goal. So what that meant is that they were opening up more.
Space.
There was more space. They were trying to be inventive. We had the opportunity to hit them on the counter attack, which is Gyökeres' strength. So that could also be a tactical.
But that was against the European team. Those guys are not physical.
I know.
So,
yes, what I say.
See what we got against Nottingham Forest.
I know.
That means 100 years to control the ball.
But my argument is based on game states, right? For example, say we started Jesus, we are leading the game 1-0 or 2-0 or 2-1 in the 60th minute or in the 70th minute. Manchester United will obviously feel like they can get a goal, which will make them take more risk. You're no longer going to be in that low block. You're going to, try to be, much more creative or much more, intuitive and stuff like that. Bringing Gyökeres in there makes sense because if you're attacking, you need a goal and we're able to hit you at a counter attack. Gyökeres is potent in those kinds of situations. So I don't think it's really a case. I mean, Nottingham Forest was a 0-0. Yeah. It was a 0-0 draw, and they came. They wanted to frustrate us, which was the point.
I feel like starting Gabriel Jesus would be more. I would be more scared if I see Gabriel Jesus starting than Victor Gyökeres. Because simply because with Gyökeres, I feel like it's going to be not that it's easy, but I feel like it's going to be easier to mark Gyökeres out of the game as opposed to Gabriel Jesus. Gabriel Jesus he moves around. He's technical with the ball. Sometimes you need that movement, that swift movement around to break.
It would be a problem if you are doing a man-to-man marking.
There was a game Man U and Arsenal were playing. That's famous one that Gabriel Jesus put this guy down low to sleep on the ground. You get that kind of swift movement, that kind of technicality in and out of the box, not being stiff or stagnant in one position.
But Jesus didn't start that game.
I feel like I'll be.
Jesus did not start that game. He came in as a sub.
I know, but I'm saying that kind of movement around. That's what you need to sort of move a low block. It was easy to mark Haaland because we all know where Haaland is going to be, and we know that the City wingers are not going to cross the ball. But in the case where you know that okay, Jesus can come short, knock it around with Trossard, he can come short, knock it around with Saka, he can pull people out of their positions, if that makes sense, as opposed to a Victor Gyökeres that you know is going to want to try and attack the box. You can leave him with Harry Maguire to fight, they can be wrestling each other. I'm not saying that's how it's pan out or Harry Maguire will be able to mark him out, but that makes one of the defenders' job easy. But if there's nobody to mark, and you feel like as a defender there's just space there and you see the striker popping around, the moment you step out and you leave your position, there's an empty space that you have created. So I feel like his movement might cause troubles to our defense more as opposed to Gyökeres. But that's a good thing. And that's why I think Arsenal is a very solid team. Because they have options. Any Arsenal fan that doesn't think that Arsenal is stacked at the moment, it's just been, I know that there's a fear among the fan base that everybody's just being nervous. There's that anxiety to not want to do too much because you feel like the team. Arsenal has a very solid team. Arsenal has a very solid team. That's why even as Manchester United fans going into this game, is more optimism than certainty. Do you get? Because you know that Arsenal has the tools, different kind of tools. See, we're talking of dropping Odegaard and playing easy. We have that luxury. We're talking of dropping Gyökeres and playing Jesus. Yes, they have that luxury. I've not even spoken of the guys on the flank. So people can say you should play Madueke over Saka. Some people can say you should play Trossard over Martinelli. So these are options that Arsenal has, and it makes them a very, very good team. What's your prediction going into the game?
My prediction, I have two predictions actually. My prediction, if Manchester United score, is going to be a 3-1 victory for Arsenal. If Manchester United do not score, it's going to be a 2-0 victory for Arsenal. I don't see any results. I'm not trying to be prideful or anything. I just think we have more than enough to be able to see our Manchester United. We are not Manchester City. We are definitely not Manchester City. We are much more disciplined. We have a lot more going for us in terms of form, in terms of football ability, in terms of even recent results against Manchester United. I think arguably you can say, even though it's been tightly contested, the last couple of seasons, but this particular squad, I think they would get the job done, especially because it's at home. So 2-0 or 3-1. How about you? What's your
is a draw. My realistic prediction for the game is a draw, a 1-1 or a 2-2 draw. I don't see any 3-1 or 3-0 that you're talking of happening. It's not possible.
Okay,
it's not possible.
You are really backing.
I'm feeling that I mean, Emirates can be a very comfortable place for me, and I can come in and beat Arsenal 2-1.
2-1.
Yeah,
that's a very bold prediction.
Yeah, why not? Football is played on the pitch now. Why not?
Of course, I know. I think you are very entitled to your predictions, and rightly so. And I will be surprised if any of them, actually come through. And like I said, football is played on the pitch now.
It's
played on the pitch.
It's
played on the pitch.
And like we know, when it comes to this fixture, form is out of.
It's out of the window. Yes, I totally agree with
the fact that Arsenal has a solid team. In fact, the reason Arsenal has a solid team is why I'm not even saying, oh yes, I'm certain yet. So it's because you know that, like I said, Man City made that victory very easy for Manchester United. So we cannot even, I'm not even relying on that. I'm just relying on the fact that we have a manager now that's taking the football back to basics. First of all, once you have people playing in their almost natural positions, they tend to make less mistakes. So that is one problem that is solved already. If there's less errors happening and you find people playing in their natural positions, it's a game of football now. You can go either way. They can go at it. But you can also take away the fact that Arsenal has a good team. That's why I'm not even going to be here and telling you, we're going to definitely beat Arsenal. This is Arsenal that has not considered a shot on target in over 90 minutes or in the Premier League, or almost 2 games down in the Premier League. So we can't take away the fact that Arsenal is a solid team. But that 3-1 that you're saying, I don't see it happening.
You don't see it. Well, I guess
a 1-1 and 2-2 draw is what.
I guess we'll meet after the game. We'll meet after the game. It's always an exciting one.
We'll see how it goes.
It is an exciting one.
Let us know what's your prediction, like, share, comments, leave your thoughts in the comment section.
So, and most importantly, subscribe to the
channel. Kelvin Talk Sports on YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, Twitter.
Everywhere, Facebook, we are everywhere.
We'll be back with a post game.